Welcome to day 39, everybody, of Divine Design. Let's start the chapter 19 with a meditation. Let's connect to the energies of Brahmarshi Pitama Patriji, Mahavdar Babaji, Ramta Master, and all the masters who have gathered here to collect the divine design knowledge and be a part of the satsang. Please be seated in a comfortable position. Close your eyes gently. Cross your fingers, palms. Cross your ankles. Please be seated in a comfortable position, either on a chair or down on a mat. Let's start the meditation with a relaxation. Let's focus on each body part and relax each body part. Forehead is relaxed. Neck is relaxed. Shoulders are relaxed. Upper back, middle back, and lower back are all completely relaxed. Chest and abdomen are relaxed. Hips are relaxed. Both the legs are completely relaxed from thigh region to the sole. Every bit of the leg is completely relaxed and relaxed and relaxed. Head region is relaxed. Neck region is relaxed. Focus on that body part and mention relax, relax mentally, and let go to an out breath, a longer out breath. Hands are relaxed. Complete back is relaxed. Chest and abdomen are relaxed. Hip is relaxed. Entire torso is completely relaxed and relaxed and relaxed. Your legs are relaxed. Continue the relaxation process. As the body becomes relaxed, observing the breath becomes even more seamless, natural. Observe your natural, simple breath, the incoming and the outgoing breath. The longer out breath is only for the relaxation. Now there is no control needed on the breath. The body, once relaxed, will become a natural process. Continue to relax your body and continue to focus on your observe your breath. If you get diverted, gently bring your observation back to the breath. Welcome to day 39 of Divine Design, my friends. So let's start the 19th chapter today. Okay, it's chapter 19 today. This is a very important chapter because we will be understanding where we are currently, and then what are the steps and what is it that is what is it that makes us a third dimensional being, right? And then what is it that we'll have to understand if we have to move beyond the third dimension? So the steps and patterns and everything are going to be explained in this chapter. Okay. So along with understanding the 12D grid and the quantum field, it is equally important to understand the three specific paradigms the multi-dimensional human will step out of as they evolve. What is the meaning of paradigm? Paradigm is like a pattern, is like a collection. Okay. Hmm, it's like a big unit kind of thing. It's like a series of steps, a series of beliefs, a series of something, what do you say? A collection, a logical sequence kind of thing. Okay. So the entire human journey within the third dimension is experienced through paradigms. So why is it that we are in the third dimension? Because over a period of time, certain belief systems within us got changed, and then it moved us to the lower dimensions. So whatever we experienced, whatever we embraced in the lower dimensions, right? So those are called paradigms. Of course, there are paradigms in the higher dimensions also, but what are those third dimensional paradigms that we embraced when we went lower? And then that is why we are experiencing it. We are still holding it within our being, within our consciousness. A paradigm is a collective of consciousness existing as a collective energetic frequency. Collective means today, today there are certain set of belief systems that people on third dimension in general believe. What are those beliefs? So those beliefs, for example, could be, as I'm continuing to age, I will slowly go closer and closer to death, and eventually I will die. That is a belief. It's a very strong belief because it is at a collective level, which means it's not like just Smita believes it. It is like everybody around me believes it. Every HTC who's experiencing this third dimensional plane believes it. Believes it. Okay. So that is like that. So the paradigms are experienced as beliefs, emotions, thoughts, truths, theories, and ways of being. They are designed to assist the human in understanding how to be in the third dimensional field. They are like roadmaps for the human. So those collective set of thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and all of those things have still kept us in the third dimension, have helped us navigate in the third dimension, have helped us experience things in the third dimension, right? Without that, we wouldn't have been here. If we had thought that I am an immortal being, and I am a soul, I am not this body, and those kinds of things, if we were not in the duality, if we had not thought like that, then we wouldn't have been here, right? We would have automatically had a higher consciousness. We would be vibrating at a higher level, higher frequency, and then we would be vibrating in some other dimension. But because we are not, because we still have those patterns keeping us in the third dimensional field, and that is what our roadmaps for us to be in the third dimension. There are many paradigms a human can experience in the 3D field. For example, news is a paradigm allowing humans to receive knowledge, right? See, why news is a paradigm allowing us to receive knowledge? Because we have no connection to our higher self to give us information about how do we have to live and things like that. And we have no beliefs to believe that everything around me is my reflection, and obviously I need to learn from that. So that kind of a knowledge is missing. We believe that there is certain set of people who work for the news channels and they will bring us information from around the world which may not be in front of me, but I will still believe them. Okay. Scientific evidence is a paradigm allowing humans to gain knowledge. Schools are a paradigm allowing humans to learn. Sports is a paradigm allowing humans to play games. Religion is a paradigm allowing humans to search for meaning. Okay, so there are certain collective belief systems which still operate in this third dimensional space. For every paradigm holding a collective frequency that can be visualized like a cloud. Okay, imagine that these are like clouds. For example, religion is a cloud. Scientific experiments and scientific evidence and science, basically the way of proving and all that, is a cloud. School, going to school, getting education, all of those things are again a paradigm. And then news is a paradigm. Okay, so all of these things are paradigms. Now they are all can be visualized like a cloud. The collective frequency is created from the vibration of all consciousness held within the paradigm. So whoever has subscribed to that paradigm, whoever believes that paradigm, rather whoever has a similar thought process or a belief system, is now contributing to that cloud, which means they are vibrating at those frequencies and they are all contributing to that cloud to make it that collective frequency. Okay, and then they are consciously held within that paradigm. A consciousness is a belief, thought, emotion, truth, and behavior. All paradigms hold a variety of consciousnesses, creating the collective frequency. So what do? There are lots of belief systems associated with schooling. There are lots of belief systems associated with, let's say, thoughts associated with schooling, emotions associated with school, truth associated with school, behavioral patterns that are associated with school, rules and regulations. So many things, like a school has to have a uniform. Some belief systems will say no uniform, but we are still a school. So there are so many different things that will contribute to a schooling system. So this is like a collective frequency. A paradigm that holds consciousnesses with lower frequencies such as fear, lack, control, or greed will be vibrating at a low collective frequency. So here you can see that there are different kind of people, different kind of belief systems, different kind of thoughts and emotions at just when it comes to school, or just when it comes to news. You can say that, oh, news, there could be people who will tell that, who will believe that news channels are just they are just a money making thing, or they work for the government. So there could be so many such belief systems, and or there could be situations where people would be like um, people would fear that, oh, if my name comes in the news, then my entire what do you say my entire I will not be able to show my face in the community, those kinds of things. So there is a fear, there is lack, there is control, there is greed. All these lower emotions can be associated with a certain paradigm. The paradigm will have a different paradigm. You can see that a cloud. School, with respect to this kind of frequency, is a cloud. School is a paradigm, but with respect to some other kind of frequency is some other cloud. Some other cloud, some other cloud. So different paradigms with vibrating at different frequencies, right, will be having a different kind of collective frequency, will be a cloud. If a paradigm holding consciousnesses with higher frequencies such as love, joy, peace, abundance, or freedom that paradigm will be vibrating in a higher collective frequency. So it depends. So let's say in the third dimensional space itself, you could have schooling with a higher frequency of vibration. You could have schooling with a lower frequency of vibration. So people who subscribe to school with a negative connotation or a lower energetic connotation will be collectively vibrating at a lower frequency. People who think that school is best and they are loving school and they like the way school educates people and the kind of whatever value systems it brings and whatever it is will be vibrating at a higher frequency. So here there is nothing like let's say people who believe that homeschooling is bad is a lower frequency, or people who believe that sending children to school is a higher frequency, or children in raising children in near the forests, or let's say a community, what is it called, country set up in their own homes without any what do you say, connection to other human beings, but just generally leaving them in nature. So here there is nothing about bad or good and this that kind of thing. It's just about frequencies. What is the fundamental what is the fundamental emotion that is contributing to that frequency? Is the frequency coming in the higher spectrum? Is the emotional frequency that you are contributing to that paradigm is in the higher frequency or in the lower frequency? More than the higher and lower. So it is wherever the frequency is, whatever the subject may be, that is where your collective paradigm will be vibrating at. A human interacts and engages with a paradigm through their energetic field. So we have an energetic field, right? So what does the energetic field do? Energetic field is mostly like a transmitter and a receiver. Okay. So now, for example, let's say I'm in this space and you have one globe around me, right? So that is like an energetic frequency. So there is a layer, energetic layer around me, which is now like a transmitter and receiver. It will contribute my current vibrations to it will send it through that electric energetic channel. It will send it outside, and then it will contribute to that whatever collective frequency I'm vibrating at. And then from outside, it is going to filter whatever is coming towards me, and it is going to filter based on my let's say emotions and belief systems and all of those things. It is going to filter through that, and then through the energetic channel it will filter, not the channel, energetic field, it will filter, and then again it will get how it will filter based on whatever my emotional system, emotional body, mental body, which is the belief systems, whatever I have, based on that only it will going to filter and come back. If I need to bring different kind of belief system kind of information towards me, first I need to change inside my being. Okay, I need to be able to change my emotional body, my mental body, and then based on that, the energy field will catch whatever it is inside, and then it will automatically bring that kind of information. First, inside me, things have to change. If things have to come from outside, accordingly. Okay. So that is the energetic field. The human body's frequency held within their energetic field will bump against that frequency of the paradigm. So so basically, everybody is vibrating, right? Everybody is vibrating. So I have an energetic field, somebody else, another HTC has an energetic field, another HTC has an energetic field. We kind of bump into each other. There is always that overlap and things like that. And also there is this energy of the collective paradigm also in between all of us. So we will keep bumping onto whatever is around us. Okay, let's say I'm vibrating at a certain frequency. Paradigm clouds also can be around me only, right? It is not about the physical, it is about the frequency and the vibration and all of those things. So I may be very close to a frequency of a particular paradigm. It is not physically seen, it is energetically felt. The human experiences the collective frequency of the paradigm by listening, watching, reading, or physically experiencing the paradigm. For example, take news. You're listening to the news, you're watching the news, you're reading in the newspaper, and then maybe you are physically looking at something that is happening in front of you. So all of these things are experiences about that paradigm, because now now you have bumped onto the some particular news paradigm at whatever frequency that news paradigm was, and now you will get only certain kind of news that is coming to you, right? Depending on your frequency. So why is it that certain people don't even get to talk about any wars and other things that are happening? Why is that certain people always get to talk about, they get to see the war that is happening, see the earthquakes that are happening, see the volcanoes that are happening, see the tsunamis that are happening, see how many people are dying in the world, see how many what do you say, child abuses are happening, see how many animal abuses are happening in the world? Why is it that we get only certain kind of information that we want to keep hearing, want to keep seeing? Because that is what our belief system, and that is what our vibrations are currently vibrating at. So if I am vibrating at a certain energetic frequency, so my energy field is mostly like a genie. Okay, my genie, what is the genie's job? Genie's job is to say ji huzur, that's all. Yes master. So what does the genie do? He'll say yes master to everything that we keep asking. Correct? So if our energy, if our being, that is my emotional body, my mental body, and my current vibrations are asking for, let's say, disturbance or fear related, or some kind of that kind of an information, then it will be sent out, and then you will be attracting the, you will be contributing, or you'll be, let's say, bumping on to that paradigm, which is what you want to attach to or you want to contribute to. So now that you started contributing to somebody, because somebody else is also contributing, so you are now going to see whatever other people are contributing into inside that paradigm. It is now you are now closely attached to that paradigm, you're contributing into that paradigm and all that, so whatever is now happening inside that paradigm, whatever is coming into the paradigm, whatever is being showcased inside that paradigm at a frequency level, at an energy level, it is now going to continue to come inside your energy field also. So typically what we do now, let's say I have a certain belief system that let's say I have a fear of death. Okay, so and suddenly, and it is, let's say, pretty strong. So if I have fear of death and it is pretty strong, I will continue to keep seeing or hearing people who are dying in general. Or let's say some people in my family also will suddenly die in unnatural, like weird ways. And then that, so the fear is now getting intensified, and it is quite possible that, let's say, you fear of death is at various different paradigms frequencies. So you might be initially fear of death at a higher level paradigm, right? I mean, at whatever at a relatively higher level, higher frequency paradigm. Then because the fear intensified, you're constantly getting similar information, because you are now subscribed to that kind of a paradigm. So the more you keep subscribing to similar paradigms, you will continue to attract similar paradigms and even keep going lower and lower and lower, because you don't know that you are now contributing into a paradigm, and that paradigm helped you to get more and more similar information. And then because of that, the fear is now getting intensified, and then you will continue to subscribe to more and more and more and more such paradigms. And then as the frequency continues to keep dropping, as the fear keeps intensifying, you will now continue to subscribe to other similar paradigms, but energetically even more lower. Okay, so it is about, the universe gives what you ask. Okay, so it is, it can show you many paradigms. It can give you a feeling of many paradigms. Let's say I bump into some paradigm, but I don't want, I'm very conscious. Let's say I have now, I don't need to, let's say knowledge has already come into me that I should not see death as fear. It is more about something that happens in general, kind of thing. So at that time, what happens? I'm not going to be fearful. I'm just going to, yeah, casually take it. Yeah, it's a part of life, kind of thing. And then of course, see, I'm still subscribed to the paradigm that we will die. Okay, there's no immortality. Or it's like even though there is a knowledge that there is immortality, but whether I'll be immortal or no, the process of immortal, no, we don't know yet. So in that sense, what happens? I'm still thinking that my body will eventually die. So okay, that paradigm is, I'm still attached to that paradigm. Meanwhile, there is also another paradigm that I am attached where now let's say there is no fear of dying. Okay, so like this, there are different paradigms we continue to watch. And if I bump onto that paradigm where there is fear of death, let's say I see people dying and all that, but still I don't want to participate in that paradigm and think that I am going to, oh, maybe I saw somebody dying, so maybe something is going to happen in my family also. So if I don't buy into that kind of a fear, then I'll eventually get away from that paradigm. And even though I bumped onto it and I got a feel of that paradigm, I'm still not going to participate in that paradigm and continue to, I'll move away from that paradigm through experience, through frequency. The human experiences the collective frequency of the paradigm by listening, watching, reading, or physically experiencing the paradigm. The human will then choose to either participate or not participate with the paradigm. If they choose to participate with the paradigm, it becomes their reality and creates their truths, beliefs, behaviors, and emotions. So now let's say I decide to believe that, let's say I decide to believe that taking narcotic drugs is bad. Okay, that's a belief system. So now if I continue to keep feeding, rather continue to keep operating from that level, I will continue to have my truths. I will create a truth where I will say, see, this person had marijuana, that is why his life got spoiled. See, this lady in her pregnancy, she had marijuana or this weed or something like that. And then now there is a problem with her baby. These are truths. You cannot say that they are wrong, okay? Because you are now actually seeing that in your reality where people took it and then you have proof to believe that actually this happened in their life. So these are called truths. So the universe is built such that the more you contribute your belief, the more you believe a certain belief system, the more you will get a reality in your life. You will create a reality in your life where you will continue to get information to feed your belief systems. Okay, so until when will that belief system drop? Only when you drop the belief system, right? So that is very important. So until you drop the belief system, your truths will not change, your behaviors, people behaviors, reality will not change, the emotions associated with that will not change. You need to, it is a very, what do you say, tightly knit system. This entire quantum field is a very tightly knit autopiloted system where energy is like doing its energy works based on its nature. It's not like I am dictating all these things. There is no right or wrong about this. But at the same time, this is how it works, is what they are saying, what the book is saying. The human's frequency dictates the paradigms they are experiencing. If a human is holding the same frequency as the paradigm, they will resonate with the paradigm and have the opportunity to step into it, allowing it to be their reality. If a human, so how allowing it to be their reality means, now if that belief system is now, yes, so I'll resonate with that belief system. I'll be able to believe that belief system because it sounds logical to me, kind of thing. Then what will happen? I will now start participating into that. And now whatever is getting contributed into that as a reality, somebody, somebody happened, something happened to somebody after doing that, after doing this, they will now become your reality, which means you will start seeing that and it will become your reality. If a human is holding a lower or a high frequency than a paradigm, they will not resonate or have a desire to experience that paradigm. Okay, so if you may bump onto a paradigm, but if your frequency does not match, okay, you'll understand. See, as soon as you bump onto that, right, as soon as you bump onto somebody that paradigm, your energy field is already giving you the information that the paradigm feels like. All that. Okay, sometimes it works like that. So but But when you get that information into your energy field, even though rather it got inside, it got, because you bumped into it, it got inside. And there are probably somewhere some similar or either there are some belief systems that sort of matches, or you've already had it in the past, or some weaker belief systems you have associated with that. Then what will happen, it you can choose to say, I don't want to, I'm not resonating with this anymore. I don't have a desire to experience that paradigm. So the human frequency must match the paradigm's collective frequency to have a desire to experience it. So for example, there are so many classes and other things that comes to you. But as soon as you hear about the class, initially as soon as you bumped onto that paradigm, information came to you and all that, you were very excited. But as and when you start experiencing the paradigm, because now you went off into it slightly, at that time you'll feel like, oh, this is not resonating with me anymore. At that time, if you make a conscious decision for some reason, if you make a conscious decision, or either surrender, do whatever it is your way of working with it, you'll be able to get out of that paradigm. You'll be able to exit from that paradigm without having to participate in that paradigm, and then it will go away from your experience. Sometimes similar paradigms will continue to keep bumping onto you because you have an attraction. Something is attracting those kinds of paradigms. But once you bump onto it, you may not want, you're again confused. You don't know what to do. Why are such experiences constantly coming to me? What am I supposed to learn from this? All those kinds of questions you may ask. But at that time, every single time you need to ask, you need to check what is it that I'm resonating with from the experiences that I'm getting in these paradigms. Why is it that repeatedly I'm getting these paradigms? So like that, you need to ask yourself. Many paradigms are chosen for the human based on the culture or society the human is experiencing, and not the human frequency. So sometimes you may be in a family which is very highly orthodox, right? At a culture, at a society level, you may be like that. But at an individual level, you may not be experiencing that. You may not be vibrating at that frequency at all. But because you have signed up into the family, you have signed up into that kind of a culture, right? You will continue to be exposed to those kinds of paradigms as well, because there is some form of learning from that. The human is born into these paradigms. Their frequency may not align with the paradigms, but they have to experience it because the culture they live in follows the paradigm. For example, school and paying taxes are paradigms that many humans experience but don't necessarily resonate and wish to participate in. Their culture requires it of them. So many children, they don't like to go to schools. But because there are parents and maybe the culture itself wants children to go to school and get whatever education, because they think that the children will not be able to lead a better life without that education and all that, they'll send them to school, and eventually the child will go to school and continue to keep going even though they don't resonate with it. However, many paradigms are chosen by the humans. They believe they are choosing it based on what they want to experience in their life. However, it is unconsciously driven by their body's frequency. So many times we choose to experience, for example, let's say I don't like people who smoke cigarette. I don't like people who smoke cigarette. That is a belief system. And you are vibrating at a certain frequency. But why is it that constantly cigarette smoking people keep coming into your experience? Because with or without your knowledge, you are constantly subscribing to those kinds of paradigms, even though you don't resonate with it, right? So we choose unconsciously to those kinds of vibrations. Their frequency will always guide them to paradigms with the same frequency. So in the universe, everything is inclusive. There is nothing like, if I use the word not, I don't like, and a negative, if I use a negative word in a sentence, right? Then it doesn't mean that the universe will understand it. The universe understands everything in oneness state. If I say I like people who smoke cigarette, I don't like people who smoke cigarette, everything is going to lead me to people or cigarette smoking kind of experiences itself. Their frequency is always their frequency will always guide them to paradigms with the same frequency. As the human increases their frequency, they will no longer resonate or feel a desire to stay in the paradigm holding lower frequency. So typically, for example, if you take the example of, let's say, I belong to a house. I belong to a house which where vegetarianism is more prominent. So they have dairy products and all of those kinds of things. But at some point, right? At some point, as a human, maybe my frequency increased. So at that time, what happened? I may no longer be having a desire to stay in a paradigm and then continue to be a vegetarian. So I moved on to become a vegan. Okay. So I moved on to eat only plants. So I'm still I still have those kinds of paradigms that are still, I'm still at a cultural level, at a family level, I'm still associated with those paradigms, right? I may not have a hate kind of relationship towards that paradigm, which means the dairy or vegetarian paradigm, right? I may not in the past I may be having a negative connotation about it, but today I may have a oneness connotation about that paradigm, right? I may not be subscribing to hateful, to the hate emotion or a judgment kind of emotion, that kind of paradigm, lower frequency paradigm with respect to vegetarianism. I may not be now working, I may not be subscribing to that, but I'm still associated with those paradigms, but maybe higher frequency, non-judgmental, oneness kind of paradigms. But the subject of that paradigm, or the paradigm is the paradigm's matter is mostly related to vegetarianism. Why? Because my family is still, my extended family and other families and all of those things that I still live with are all vegetarians. So it depends on how you subscribe to these paradigms, because at some point you will be working with all these paradigms, because there is always a belief system that you need to work with, correct? So what is that belief system stemming from? Is it stemming from a higher emotion or a lower emotion? That you need to think through. As the human increases their frequency, they will no longer resonate or feel a desire to stay in a paradigm holding lower frequencies. They will naturally shift from the older paradigms to new paradigms. This also occurs for the entire human collective. As the human collectively shifts from lower to higher frequencies, older paradigms will no longer be a part of certain cultures and societies. For example, if you take in the olden days, Mahabharata days, men used to have multiple wives. Ladies would have multiple men also as their husbands, or like they would have multiple marriages. Sometimes marriages were not necessary. So there are so many permutations and combinations that people would engage with each other. But today, more often than not, right, there is marriage is considered to be very illegal. And if two people have to come together, mostly they are into a marriage. Of course there are live-in relationships and all that, but still, to a large extent, there are certain paradigms which will bind people together and all of those kinds of things. It's just a belief system, but all I'm saying is, compared to the past, old paradigms, the entire entire society itself has changed. At a we have made laws, we have made country laws, right? At that level, laws have been written to ensure that these societies work in a certain way. For example, there are paradigms from 1950s that are no longer being experienced in 2022. The frequency of certain paradigms in the 50s are lower than the human collective's current frequency. So naturally, the human collective will move out of these paradigms. So there are in the past there would be a paradigm which would say you would have to go to a certain river only and take bath and do puja. But today people go to the bathrooms and then take bath and do puja. So it is a shift. Humans will call these paradigm shifts advancing in science or education or learning from the past. Or we'll say we are evolving. We call it energy and the evolution of consciousness. The collective as a whole is always shifting into higher frequencies. As they do, the paradigms in the lower frequencies will dissolve from the collective. The three specific paradigms in the third dimension that humanity will be shifting out of as they evolve into higher states of consciousness are karma, past lives, and the Akashic records. So these are the three topics, which is the karma, past lives, and the Akashic record. Akashic record, remember the plan of action and all that, the blueprint. So all of these things. These paradigms are deeply ingrained in the human consciousness. Today, how consciously and how easily we believe the word karma. Even the person who is not even spiritual will understand the meaning of, will understand the concept of karma. Because that at a cultural level, at a community level, at a humanity level, everybody believes that it is how it is. These paradigms are deeply ingrained in the human consciousness. However, these three paradigms, along with many others, are not part of the higher dimensional field. So there is no karma, there is no past life concept, there is no Akashic record concept in the higher dimensions. Because karma is a system or is a it's a system which will keep track of what you've already experienced and what you're supposed to already experience. Because now you don't have memory, right? You don't have the state of understanding of where you stand in terms of your evolution. So karma is a system which is going to help you track all of those things across lives until you get to the state where you can where you understand where you stand. Past lives are a concept which will help you understand that, okay, in these lives, these are the things that already have been covered, and that is what past lives mean. And then Akashic records will have that plan of action of what I'm going to do in my current body or in my current incarnation. These paradigms are deeply ingrained and in the human consciousness. However, these are not part of the higher dimensional fields. They do not exist in the fifth dimension. We hope that bringing awareness and clarity to these paradigms will lead the human to have a better understanding. They will choose to step out of these paradigms if the resonance is no longer there. So we have all still subscribed to these paradigms at a very, very deep level, because at a humanity level everybody is here. But to choose to get out of this paradigm, to step out of this paradigm, it has to be a conscious effort to say, whatever I am getting fed by my reality, where is the reality coming from? You gave something out, and then you got subscribed to a paradigm, and now there are lots of these things that are coming into the paradigm, or the paradigm has certain beliefs, certain emotions, all the other HDCs are all participating, right? So everything you can still see, you can still feel, you can still understand all of those things. So now, and everything is at the same frequency, so it will naturally come into your reality. So if you have to get out of it, even though whatever you see in your reality, you need to be able to say that I am going to stop believing what I see, and I'm going to have a belief system. First, everything has to change at a being level. Okay, every change you need to bring at your inner being first. Then only these energy fields and all those things will change. Then only what you subscribe to and all will change. First, you need to bring here. So even though you see anything, you need to refuse to believe that, oh yeah, karma, I will not believe karma, because they don't exist anymore. Because I'm a soul, and whatever, everything is in the now moment. So whatever understanding you have from a knowledge perspective, you need to continue to keep applying that knowledge every single time you see these things happening around you. So this is what it means, that you are consciously shifting out of those kinds of paradigms and getting and becoming out of resonance from there. Please remember that all paradigms are real and true for the human experiencing them. Our intention is not to devalue a paradigm, but instead provide the human the ability to choose to step out of these paradigms that were never designed to be in 5D. So what they are saying is these paradigms are very, very crucial and essential for you to operate in the 3D and have that real-time experience of understanding 3D. Okay, it was very necessary. The karma, the past life, the Akashic record, reincarnation, all of those things are very, very important for you to understand as you are in the 3D space. But as you start to choose out of 3D, you need to obviously get out of those paradigms which are now, which are not, which are more 3D specific, because you're now moving out of the D itself, right? That D itself you're moving out of. So hence they are saying that, so for example, let's say you are now in a school, and now if you have to choose to step out of school and go into a college environment, then what should you do? You need to stop following school rules and start following college rules. You still are subscribing to a paradigm, because there is always that collective frequency that will keep contributing to a certain belief system or to a certain way of operation. So you will stop subscribing to the 3D level, you will start subscribing to some other level. Like school level, you stop subscribing, and now you're subscribing to a college level. As you read this chapter, we ask you that you honor your resonance. It is of utmost importance. Whether or not you resonate with the information, there is no right or wrong. We are merely offering another perspective on three specific paradigms. So here they are saying, if somebody comes and tells you, oh, karma is not real, this, that, blah, blah, blah. And if you can't believe that, if you feel that, yes, only when I feel that I have done something to somebody else in the past life, that is why I am experiencing that now, it feels logical to you, go ahead and continue to believe, because it makes you experience that reality with a more better experience, right? It makes like the experience is more genuine. But you should not get into a conflict because somebody told you, oh, karma is not there, it's seen. It will come, that kind. Just know that these are just seeds that are getting planted inside you. Today or tomorrow you may follow it. Today you may not be in a belief system that you follow, but you should know that at some point you will have to get out of these belief systems. Okay, so belief system that there is a certain way of operation and all of those things, you'll have to get out of that limited kind of mindset. Okay, so today you may not go, but at some point you will definitely get information, and more information, more and more experiences to make you go to that point. Today, if you're not getting all that information, don't try to go to that point. Don't try to push yourself to 5D without actually experiencing 3D fully. You cannot go to 5th standard until you finish your 3rd standard syllabus, 4th standard syllabus, and then go to 5th standard. 5th standard is not your ultimate destination. Ultimate destination is to make sure that every moment of your 3D is honored, is understood, is enjoyed, and is valued for the experience that is planned by you as a part of the Akashic record. Okay, so please here understand that everything is extremely important. Your past, present, everything is very, very important in 3D. Okay, 19.1, karma and karmic cycles. Karma is the first paradigm we would like to discuss. It is existing within the 3D field that the human will not experience as they shift into higher states of consciousness. There are two paradigms within karma. The first, so there apparently the karma itself is one paradigm, right? And there are two paradigms within the karma itself, subcategory. The first states there is an energetic balance and karmic cycle in all behaviors. So what is that first one? It says that there is a karmic cycle and everything operates from that karmic cycle, and there is a energetic balance, which means give and take. Give and take means I slapped somebody, so I'll get that slap back, that kind of thing. The second states that there is an energetic balance and karma cycle in reincarnation. So first of all, in behaviors. Now, behavior means, let's say I rudely behaved to somebody and somebody rudely behaved back to me. But in reincarnation also, they believe that these things are also happening. Reincarnation means you're reincarnating to experience something kind of thing. Both paradigms are designed to keep the human in a cycle of action and consequence, and neither paradigm will be found in 5D or higher fields. So at some point, what happened, our belief systems became so ingrained with 3D that we are sort of, we are so habituated to staying in 3D that getting out of 3D, even if the knowledge is constantly telling you, you need to get to soul realization, this, that, and all that, that process seems to be far more difficult. The process seems to be very far. It is it is not, it seems to be easier than, it's easy to say, I will live in 3D and then I will continue to keep experiencing these things, but I will not make that extra effort to go further, or I will not put that extra effort to accept things, allow things. I will continue to keep working on my old habits only, all of those kinds of things, right? So these paradigms, the karma, reincarnation, past life, blah, 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 everything is meant to keep you in the 3D itself. The more you subscribe to these paradigms, the more you will continue to be in 3D. So when knowledge comes to you, just think about it. Just think about, okay, what is this teaching me kind of thing? Am I going to make myself believe that I will continue to be in this cycle? Or should I think that I can get out of the cycle, that I can get out of this cycle, I can get to beyond death, life and death cycle, is something. Then if you can start believing, I will definitely get out of this cycle of life and death, that pattern, that karmic pattern, right? How will you get to that understanding? When you know yourself better. Who is this knowing yourself? When you know that I am the soul. Knowing is not enough, right? So much of books and so much of teachers and so many saints and so many people have shastras and all that, they have come to show us that we are the Atma. But just because they showed that through thousands and thousands of years of, let's say, books and everything, even though they have shown, are people following it? No, they are not following it. Why? Because there is no experience. There is no experience of the I am the Atma. So what is the entire collection of teaching to get to that state that I am the Atma? Because they know that, okay, let us push them to the state where they understand that they are the Atma. Because once they understand they are the Atma, they will automatically be able to apply these knowledge, and they will automatically not subscribe to these kinds of paradigms. So the idea is not to say that these are bad or these are wrong, but the idea is to say that when they are just telling you in future how you will actually behave. In future, when you understand that I am the Atma and I'm not the body, then automatically you will find no meaning in subscribing to these paradigms, is what they are trying to tell you. But when you are in that 3D without that experiential knowledge, you may not be able to let go of some of these paradigms, because it is that higher understanding, higher conscious understanding is not there. Experience is not there. Okay. Karmic cycle in human behaviors. The first karmic paradigm we wish to discuss states that, this is the first one, right? Behavior thing. The first karmic paradigm we wish to discuss states that a person's behavior will create a cause and effect cycle in their life. There is an energetic force that will create a balance in all human behavior. That which the human puts out will come back to them in the now or in another future. So what they're saying is, there is a cause and effect, or karma is a concept where if I do certain behavioral, if I do something positive to somebody, positive will come back to me. If I do negative to somebody, negative will come back to me. Okay, that is a belief system. So this belief system is there. And because the human collective believes that this is actually happening, right, it is going to continue to make that happen. That huge paradigm will continue to make that happen. Okay. So if the human behaves in a good or positive way, they will experience something good or positive. If the if the human behaves in a bad or negative way, they will experience something bad or negative. Their behavior will dictate what will be experienced either in the now or in the future now. This paradigm creates a cyclical and perpetuating behavioral response. So what they are saying is the person will create a cyclical. So because there is a belief, some similar experience which creates similar reality is coming. Because the reality came, you will believe it even more, and you'll continue to follow it even more. And because you continue to believe and following it even more, the reality is again, the belief system is becoming stronger, and again similar experiences are brought back to you. So these are now in a cyclic way. It is rotating. Okay, there is no end to this cycle. It's like an infinite loop, recursive loop. This karmic paradigm was brought into the human collective thousands of years ago when humans were anchoring higher frequencies within their form. They began to understand and dissect energy, human patterns, and human behavior. These humans were noticing the relationship between behavior and energy. They noticed that the frequency in their body would dictate their behavior. The body's frequency would also reflect back to them experiences in the external world. Their frequency would create their reality based on their behavior and reflection of the external world. So what they're saying is, they believed that this karma paradigm, how did it even start? When as humans means not the energy, not the HDC, but when the human from their conscious mind, they started to, as they were anchoring into higher frequencies, right? Before all this grace and all that, before all the mess happened, they were anchoring into higher frequencies with their form. With their form means with their physical form. At that time, they started to notice these patterns. Oh, energy is behaving like this. If this is my body frequency, this is what is going to happen. This is what I'm going to attract. These are the realities. All that they started to observe these patterns. And now they gave it a name and say, okay, see, if I'm doing this, then this will come. So they basically made a observation and then stated that observation as a rule book kind of thing. If they were interacting with another human and holding frequencies that presented as laughter, love, or joy, they noticed that their external reality would reflect the same experience back to them. Their internal frequency created their external reality. If they were in joy, they received joy. If they were in sadness, they received sadness. It was a present experience. See, they forgot that everything was happening in the present, right? They asked for joy, they got joy. But since the humans was mostly into past, present, and future kind of thing, right? They started to say, in the past, if you did this, in the present, you'll get this. In the present, if you did this, in the future, you'll get this. They also knew that frequency was always shifting. A now moment can't create a ripple effect in another now moment unless humans are holding the vibration of that moment. If they behaved in a certain way in a certain now moment, based on their frequency in the now, it would create a response only from that now frequency. No cyclical response would vibrate out to create a future now moment based on their current now frequency and behavior. They knew that no expectation for the future experience that would balance out a previous behavior. They understood that everything is occurring in the now and only in the now. So in the now moment, there is no cycle. Okay. In the now moment, there is no cycle. But if they are now believing in a past, present, and future, then they will start to believe in this coming back to you kind of thing. For example, if they were sad or angry and responded to a human in a sad or angry way, their entire experience would stay in that now moment. There would be no ripple. There would be no ripple or cyclic effect that would later on call for that human to balance out that anger or sadness. They didn't expect the anger or sadness to come back to them in another now to be experienced and balanced out. So here what we are doing, because we don't believe in the now moment, we are trying to, okay, that now moment is gone. The present is gone. So we can't fix it or we can't change it. Now that will come back and bite us. That was the idea, right? So because if everything was in the now and if you feel everything is now, you very much have the ability to act on that even now. But because that belief system is not there, now that has passed, that now moment has passed. They think that the now moment has passed. Now, whatever is in the past is done. Done is done kind of thing, they say, right? What is past is past. Think about the present like that. The small percentage of humans who were having these awarenesses and experiencing experiences thousands of years ago began to share them with other humans. However, because the vast majority of humans at that time were holding much lower frequencies within their body, they were unable to understand this information. So many people who were believing, who got this information from a higher being of now moment to a being who is not in that now kind of belief system. When they got this information, they applied it the way they want. As these teachings about human frequency, behavior, and outcomes were being shared, humanity was filtering it through a dualistic, linear lens, and the paradigm you know now as karma was created. Most humans receiving the teachings did not have a clear understanding of the quantum field, the present moment, the sovereignty, and their own energetic field and free will. So there are so many such things, right? Even in our own rituals, when the people who let's say for example in our own cultures, if the saints that you are subscribing to or you are a part of that lineage and all of that, they did not come here to say that this is the religion, I am creating a religion or something. They just said this is how you can experience soul realization. These are the, if you do XYZ from their experience, they said you will attain. But then what the lower frequency people who and obviously these higher frequency individuals, higher frequency light masters, what do you say, taught to lower frequency people only, right? They were trying to teach them to wake up. So in the process of waking up, what they did not teach was taken and it was converted and it was tampered. Because I have told you in the past also, it gets filtered through your energy field. So you may be getting a 5D information, but if you are in a 3D field, it will get filtered through a 3D lens and then come to your understanding. They believed that there was a consequence to a behavior instead of it being merely a reflection of one's frequency in the now moment. They created the belief that whatever a human did in the external would be returned to them during their lifetime. There would be another moment when the human would receive karma for what they did in the previous moment. Energy doesn't work this way. It is not linear, concrete, or dualistic. It does not follow or stay connected to a human. Energy is neutral and fluid, and it is always moving within that quantum field. It flows in and out of awareness in all directions. It is not permanent and it does not stay or respond to a past vibrational experience. An energetic response based on the human's past behavior does not reappear in the linear now. Energy only responds to the now moment and the human's current frequency in their body. For instance, energy doesn't say this human did something bad or good for 5 months ago, good 5 months ago, so a bad or a good behavior will be provided to them now. That statement reflects duality and linearity, and the energy doesn't hold either of those traits. Those traits occur through the human's third dimensional lens. Because now we are subscribing to that belief system that our ancestors taught us. The human that performed the good behavior in the now moment did so because they were vibrating at the consciousness that held that behavior. It is that simple. If a human has a good experience in another now, it is because they are holding the frequency that creates that good experience. It is not tied to any previous now. If a human stole something, they did so because they were vibrating at the consciousness of that behavior, lack or unworthiness. If someone steals from them at a later now, it is because they are holding a similar frequency to that behavior or theft. Again, lack or unworthiness as an example. So what they're saying is, at this point, we did something good or whatever, good or bad behavior, let's call it behavior. At this point, we did something. It is not going to come back to us because energy does not remember it. We think that karma system remembers it because we believe that it remembers. So we bring that kind of a reality back to us. And what they're saying is, why did you again experience it this time? Because that consciousness is still there within you. That lack or unworthiness is still there within you, which is why again it came to you. That similar frequency, it came to you. Even if someone steals from them or they steal from someone, it is the same lack or unworthiness is what they are saying. They are conscious. So here, doing this and doing this, rather, if I do this experience also, if I take this, if I plan this experience versus plan this experience, it doesn't mean that this is different, this is give and take is different. It means that we are still having that consciousness to experience within us, and we have not experienced it fully, and we have not finished that experience, and that is why it is still lacking within. It is still coming within us. We are not what do you say, experiencing that with a oneness state. They are consciously or unconsciously, and most of the time it is unconsciously, holding a belief such as lack that creates a frequency in the body which creates the experience of theft in that now. It is not due to the previous behavior, it is due to the current frequency of the body. So all they are saying is everything happens in the now moment. In the now, that is your frequency. In the now, you're attracting that thing into your reality. That is why it came. It has nothing to do with what happened or what you did in the past. Any behavior, thought, or belief creates the human's current frequency. Even if those beliefs are based on past behaviors or experiences, it is still creating in the now, it is still creating the now frequency. That is how energy works in the quantum field, and the human is always in the quantum field. The way in which human creates their next now moment is through their energetic field, their frequency. The third dimensional human is unaware that this is how they are creating every now. They do not realize that the frequency they are holding in the now will dictate that now experience. So why is it that we constantly keep experiencing a certain pattern? It doesn't go away from our life because we are not observing our frequency, right? We don't have that dictionary of knowledge to understand why we are attracting similar frequencies. Why is it that these patterns are continuing to come to us? So once we are able to do that, we are able to drop that kind of a cyclic pattern in our life. What is so typically what we have learned in the past is accept. First of all, accept that it is happening to us. Secondly, don't detach from each of these things that are constantly happening to you. Detach from them. Don't get attracted and don't judge yourself. All of those things we need to do, which we discussed in the previous chapters. What is occurring is the natural pulse of the human's energetic field creating their reality in newly, each in the now moment within the quantum realm. The human's energetic field is constantly sending out pulses of magnetic energy, and that pulse is what the human will pull into their field and experience in their reality. So if you want joy, you need to start believing and start experiencing, or start more than experiencing, you need to start giving joy. That emotion you need to start vibrating at first. Then only joy will come to you, because only when you gave, when you sent it out, you're attracting similar things in the now, in the each now moment, you're attracting similar things, but it has nothing to do with some past experience or something. The human's frequency can shift in any now to create different pulses and new reality. Nothing is occurring in the humans now based on any previous now. We may have seen many enlightened masters also talking about karma. Why is it, why, you can ask, why is it that they are talking about karma, but when somebody is like this is saying that there is no karma, it is because they are telling based on what the way the person would understand, so that they can lift them based on the lens that they already have. You can't tell an illiterate you can't you can't talk to an illiterate in words and sentences without teaching him ABCD. So first what you will do, you will start to talk to him in the language that he already knows. And then slowly, you know that as his language starts improving, as this connection between us starts improving, in some moment, he himself will understand this karmic. So for example, even if they have heard about karma and all, once they are into once they are able to, what do you say, go at vibrate at a certain frequency, they will be able to understand that, oh my God, there is actually no karma, everything is the now moment. So they themselves will change their belief system. But don't blame somebody else to say, oh, how did they not even tell this to me? Because you wouldn't have understood it. This karmic paradigm created beliefs that were rooted in fear, control, and victimhood. These consciousnesses created the collective frequencies within this karmic paradigm. When a human experiences this paradigm, they will experience fear, control, and victimhood. So we will feel, oh my God, I did this in the past, so this time definitely I'm going to experience this problem. So it is more of, I was a victim then, this time I'm a different kind of a victim. The original teachings around karma were never rooted in these consciousness. When a human is holding higher frequencies in their body, they will no longer resonate with this karmic paradigm, collective frequency. They will step out of that belief that a previous behavior will dictate a cyclic response to a future experience. The human will connect to the quantum field and remember how energy and consciousness works. They will live in a more present moment state, sovereign, creating in the now and not living from a past behavior. They will feel their energetic field and will understand the vibrational pulse from that field pulls experience into their now. The human will remember there is no cyclic patterns holding them to any past behavior. Karma is not creating or responsible for any now experience. The human's frequency in that now is responsible for that experience. So in that now moment, the way you are vibrating will actually dictate what you are experiencing. The human will remember there are no cyclic patterns. Karma is not creating or responsible for any now. The human's frequency in that now is responsible for the experiences. All beliefs, emotions, thoughts, and behaviors are responsible for the experience. This is sovereignty. See here, it is not just suddenly you can't change your belief system. You need to, they are like highly, there are nested belief systems, nested emotions, nested thoughts, and all of those things, and nested behaviors that you don't know. Now, even if you think that, oh, I need to get out of this now, I start believing, and you need, now knowledge has come. Now I will start to get out of this. To get out of that, you need to remove the beliefs, remove the emotions, remove the thoughts, remove the behaviors that are now having that pattern. So how will it now get out from your system and make room for new ones? From people who will trigger those things, realities which will come and trigger. So reality will keep showing you old ones, which means you had it inside. That is why they are still showing you, no? So it doesn't mean that they will not show you suddenly because you changed your stuff. As long as you keep seeing those patterns, it means that you still have it within you. People will trigger that, people will bring those things out, people will remove those emotions from you, all of those things. When it is coming out, just watch. When it is coming out, let watch that as an elimination. Watch that as a moving cloud getting out of your system, and allow it to go naturally. Don't try to suppress it, don't try to judge yourself, don't try to accept and allow these things to get out. Until then, you will never be able to go to that next paradigm. This is sovereignty, taking full responsibility for your actions. In the past, you subscribe to these things, right? All these belief systems, emotions, thoughts, and actions and all that are inside you. You only made it inside you. You only consciously put it inside you. So now when it is coming outside you because you want to make a new belief system, it means that you need to allow these things to go in a very respectable way. Okay? Sovereignty and stepping out of this karmic paradigm occurs as the body increases its frequency. So as we increase our body's frequency, these are bound to happen, is what they are saying. Okay, we will stop here. Okay, so you can share your questions later. Thank you very much for people who are going to be watching the recording. Okay, and for people who are watching it from YouTube, and maybe anybody who's watching that I'm not aware of. Okay, thank you.